There is a report that a two-seater private plane has crashed into a cemetery in Poland. The fire department has reported recovering over 300 bodies and are still digging. A fireman died in a fire and went to hell. He saw a bunch of clocks with his fellow firemen's names on them. He asked the devil what the clocks meant. He replied, "They are how long till you die, and every time you make a mistake it goes ahead 1 hour." The fireman asked, "Where's the fire chiefs?" The devil replies, "It's in the basement. We were using it as a fan." A police officer, though scheduled for all-night duty at the station, was relieved of duty early and arrived home 4 hours ahead of schedule, at 2 in the morning. Not wanting to wake his wife, he undressed in the dark, crept into the bedroom and started to climb into bed. Just then, his wife sleepily sat up and said, "Lou, dearest, would you go down to the all-night drugstore on the next block and get me some aspirin? I've got a splitting headache." "Certainly, honey," he said, and feeling his way across the dark room, he got dressed and walked over to the drugstore. As he arrived, the pharmacist looked up in surprise. "Say," said the druggist, "I know you. Aren't you a policeman? Officer Rhodes, right?" "Yeah, so?" said the officer. "Well, what the heck are you doing all dressed like the fire chief?" A blonde calls this rural fire department all excited. She says, "Come quick, my barn's on fire, my barn's on fire." The dispatcher says, "Calm down now, just tell us how to get there." She says, "Oh, don't you have that big red truck anymore?" The fire started on some grassland near a farm in Indiana. The fire department from the nearby town was called to put the fire out. The fire proved to be more than the small-town fire department could handle, so someone suggested that a rural volunteer fire department be called. Though there was doubt that they would be of any assistance, the call was made. The volunteer fire department arrived in a dilapidated old fire truck. They drove straight towards the fire and stopped in the middle of the flames. The volunteer firemen jumped off the truck and frantically started spraying water in all directions. Soon they had snuffed out the center of the fire, breaking the blaze into 2 easily controllable parts. The farmer was so impressed with the volunteer fire department's work and so grateful that his farm had been spared, that he presented the volunteer fire department with a check for $1,000. A local news reporter asked the volunteer fire captain what the department planned to do with the funds. "That should be obvious," he responded. "The first thing we're gonna do is get the brakes fixed on that stupid fire truck."